Hello there, welcome to Paddock Uncut from Baku, Azerbaijan. It's our second visit here, but the attention this weekend so far has to be on the lowly Sauber team, where they've parted ways with their own team principal, Manisha Kaltenborn. So, lots of attention down here, plenty to talk to Pascal Wehrlein and Marcus Ericsson about, as well as the championship leading regulars and the people in the midfield as well in their Thursday interviews. So let's get on with it. Where did this come from then? This was a bit out of the blue, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been all quite sudden. I mean, it's nothing I'm involved with, so I don't know what's been behind it. But yeah, for me, it's just the last couple of days I got to know about it.
Why?
I don't know all the details, to be honest, but yeah, that's how it is now, and I'm sure that the owners have something good planned, for the future.
Well, in the press release, the owners say there's a disagreement over the future direction of the team. I don't really know what that means. You're within the team, you're the driver, you must know a bit what that means.
No, to be honest, I don't know. I haven't got informed all the details about the reasoning behind it, so yeah, I couldn't really say what the reasons are.
Okay, I know there have been some stories that haven't gone down well within the team, that it's something to do with whether the owners are sympathetic to you and feel like Pascal's being favoured and being given good bits of the car. Maybe you can put that one to bed?
Yeah, I think for me that's the upsetting bit with everything that's been going on the last 24 hours, because it's completely untrue and yeah, it's false, and it upsets me because it's disrespectful to all the members in the team, not only here on track but also in the factory, because they work day and night to try and make this team successful again, and to come out with these claims, I think it's very disrespectful for all the people in the team, and also for us drivers, because like I said, it's completely untrue. We are a fair team and both drivers are given equal fairness, so I think that's very important.
Okay. Where does the team go from here, Marcus?
Hopefully, onwards and upwards. I think it's obviously a lot of things going on this week, but hopefully we can have a good weekend here, race weekend, and focus on the racing, and just get on with the racing. That's what we're here for.
I spoke to her on Tuesday evening when she called me, and I was obviously very surprised about it when she told me what will happen. And coming to here, obviously, yes, everyone is asking those questions, and yeah, it feels different.
Do we know why? Do you know why?
No, not really. So, I didn't ask for the perfect explanation, because, she doesn't have to tell me the explanation. She told me what will happen and what's happening. And, I have a very good relationship to her, and obviously I'm also very thankful for what she did. Thanks to her, I'm here in Sauber, and she helped me so much when I was injured, and that's also what I told her. This is something I will never forget, and I'm very thankful.
But it wasn't. People normally leave their jobs when they've done something wrong. It wasn't anything wrong that she did, was it?
As far as I'm aware, I don't know.
What's been the fallout from Canada?
Well, it's a good result already. We did in Canada. But what do you want to know is what happened after.
Well, because you were on fresher tyres, you could have had a go overtaking Ricciardo. If you could have overtaken Ricciardo, then Vettel probably wouldn't have got both of you. He would have got Perez and he would have got Ricciardo instead. You would have been on the podium, and there would have been more points for the team. But you didn't do that, so neither of you ended up on the podium, and Ricciardo ended up where he was, and Vettel ended up getting more points.
Yeah, okay. Well, I had more pace than Sergio, that's for sure, because I was alongside him for 2 times. But the team decided to let us race, and I respect their choice. At the end, we are racing, and it's good that we don't have a political discussion as well. For sure, if I was ahead of Sergio, I think I could have get that podium. But I totally respect, and the decision. And we discussed about that after in the debrief, and I also called Sergio in the week, to speak with him and to speak about our feelings, and we are totally okay. There is no tension between us, so it's all good.
Yeah, the team basically is in the same position as in Canada. They went and reviewed everything, and they felt that they took the best decision, and they told us that if we are again in that position, they will let us race as they did, because 13 laps advantage in Canada is not a lot, with such a low tire degradation. It means that it's not enough to overtake, So they felt that the car that needed to be ahead was ahead. The one that did the best job during the weekend was ahead. So they were very happy to let us race, and it's great. You know, I think it's great for the sport. It's great for the fans, for everyone to have a team like Force India. You know, because they let the drivers race and they take the risk. You know, because it's not easy. You know, to be on the pit wall and see both of your drivers fighting, but it's just great. I love that, and I love that for all the F1 fans.
Is there beginning to be a kind of solider base in terms of you and your feel with the car?
Yeah, honestly, I feel a little bit better. I think the last couple of weekends have been a bit stronger. With myself, I feel I'm getting better and better, getting a better understanding of the car. But yeah, just the last two 11th places has been a bit frustrating. So. Yeah, I'm feeling better in the car. So hopefully, you know, this weekend we've had 2 11ths in a row, so we can finally get some points.
Yeah. I suppose the downside here is the power sensitivity of this track. How are you going to offset that if maybe you feel your package is a little bit of a deficit there?
Well, I think it's very power sensitive. Obviously, you got the last corner, and then you got, I think it's a 2 kilometre straight down to turn 1. So if you haven't got a strong engine, then you get punished. So I think we've made steps on the engine with Renault, but clearly we're behind the Mercedes cars and probably Ferrari power as well. So it'll make it a little bit harder, but you've got to make it up in the corners. That's the only way to do it. So yeah, we'll try and do our best. I think because of that reason, I think it might not be the easiest weekend, but like I said in Canada, you know, sometimes we think it's going to be quite tough, and it ends up actually being quite unexpectedly good, and then other times we think it's going to be good, and it's quite a tough one. So the form seems to be a little bit more erratic and unexpected this year.
Things get pulled out, comments that people say, Cyril Abiteboul, you know, saying you must deliver, and he wants to see points from you soon, and you contributing. Behind the scenes, is the atmosphere different? Is it a good atmosphere still you have in terms of the working relationship with those key members in the team?
Yeah, of course, yeah. There's no change. I want the same as them, to be getting good results.
You've scored all your team's points this year. It's been a tough time for Jolie, and yet he's had a couple of 11th place finishes. Are you fairly confident he can start contributing some points on a regular basis for the team?
Yeah, I hope, and I think so. You know, that would be very good. Obviously, it's a very competitive environment there where we are, you know, and we need every point. So would be great to see that we have, you know, that we're both up there fighting for it.
Is there nothing much you can do to help another driver or a teammate in that situation? Have they just got to work on their own mind and so on?
Yeah, exactly. Because, you know, it's not always necessarily what works for me works for him. You know, I think as a driver you have to sort of find and develop your own way, and get yourself in a happy place with the car and yourself. So it's not that much I can do there.
You know, one or two people are talking about Robert Kubica coming here. Are you pleased to see him make the recovery he has, just as a fellow driver that's come back from a tough knock?
Of course. I mean, that's the thing. Honestly, I was a fan of Kubica when he, you know, the unknown Polish guy that came into Formula One and did a really good job. So it was a shame what happened to him. I wasn't even racing in GP2 when he was racing in Formula One, I don't think. So yeah, of course, the same as everyone else. You know, it's great he's coming back, and I wish him all the best in the future.
Interestingly, talking about the calendar, we've had a provisional one for next year, and again, Monaco clashes with the Indy 500. So, Fernando, will you race in the Indy 500 next year?
They probably not. You know, the first intention will be, you know, to be in Formula One and to be winning in Formula One. That put Indy out of the possibilities. So that will be the first intention. But you know, it was also this year, and you know, changes were not as we planned it, and we changed that opinion. But you know, at the moment, you know, full focus on Formula One next year and winning. Obviously, in McLaren at the moment we are not very competitive. And we know that one of the parts, you know, the engine side is not competitive enough to win. And you know, I'm sure that the team is exploring whatever possibility to make this competitive. And hopefully next year McLaren will be in a different position. Is what we all want. But in my case, is independent to whatever engine they have. You know, I just want to win, and we see what happens.
So would a Mercedes engine, I'll press you on this, in the McLaren Honda possibly be a winning package?
Not really. We will not change much. You know, as I said, many times I want to win next year, and I don't want to gamble too much, in any decision. I want to be more or less safe, in whatever I go for. I know that there are even more movements that probably we all know, in some teams that we think that they are set for next year. I don't think that it's so clear that they are 100% confirmed. So I think there will be a lot of changes for next year, and I will try to stay calm and pick up the best decision for next year.
If you could leave, would it be natural for a young driver to want to be in a championship contending seat? Because with the best will in the world, Red Bull aren't going to win this year's World Championship.
Well, I think it doesn't matter what age, you always want to be in the winning car, isn't it? And that's also my goal. I want the car, to win races with, and eventually to win a championship in. And yeah, I think we are. Well, also me. I want to have that in the near future for sure.
And if someone like Mercedes or Ferrari, who both have a seat free next year, nobody signed up for at least one of their seats next year, came to you and said, we want you in our car, don't worry about the contract, we'll sort that out, would you seriously consider going?
That's something for the future, I think at the moment, we are still so early in the season that I think I just want to focus on this season.
Sure, right now I wish we were in a more competitive position, but it's not like a defeated attitude. So for where we are right now, all I see is positive. So yeah, let's see how we go. Obviously coming off a bit of a good run with a few podiums in the last few races. So yeah, that's all I can say for now. We'll try and keep that going.
The last race was important for the team. I think it was important it was definitely very, very important for me, and in the fight for this championship, and something that I am very proud of all the team, all the work that's gone in, and a taste of greatness in which we want every weekend. So I think it was a great result, but it really pushed us to another level, and I think now we're fighting to continue fighting for more of those weekends.
Have you finally tamed this car?
I can't promise that we have completely tamed it. I think we managed to do it in Montreal, but from Monaco to Montreal is a big difference with how you approach the weekend and how the setup of the car is, and what do you need from the car. So I think we still have work to do, but the team has done a great job on analyzing everything what happened in Monaco and why it happened, why we were slow. So we definitely made progress, but there's still more progress we can do.
Okay. So the actual the real test will be here, won't it?
Yeah, it is a track that some sections are a bit like Monaco, but other sections can be like Monza. So, so I reckon it will be close again with Ferrari, but it's definitely a track that is not so easy to set up the car well, and we know that we've had some issues with that in some tracks. Do
you think now that Mercedes are trying to understand their car, you need to actually start putting some performance on yours, because there's a danger you might get left behind?
Everybody is always trying to understand their cars and what is good, what is bad, and if they tell you that they suddenly now start to look into their cars, and understanding is far from the truth, for sure. I mean, we do testing and we do racing just to improve things, and that's a normal story, and it's never ending. You understand that stuff, and with this car at the end of the year, you started earlier already with the new car. So it's a normal thing, and we always try to do the better things, improve cars, making them more faster, and it's the same story with the other teams. So whoever makes it best over the 1 year will come out on the top.
So was Canada just a blip for Ferrari?
I think on the speed-wise we were not bad, but there was a lot of other things happened that affected our end result, and it looks much more worse on the result than it should have been. But that's how it goes sometimes.
This season is really, really good for us. Let's not forget that Mercedes blew everyone away the last 3 years. They improved their chassis by a lot if you compare 2014 to 2016. So I think as a team they obviously grew a lot. And so far this year we started off well, but we are still, I think if you look at all the races, the pace has been more or less the same. So I think that's more credit to us than to them, because they've had that sort of development pace the last couple of years. They caught up, as you can say, maybe in 14 they weren't at the top of the game, benefiting from a very strong power unit. But then the years after, they were slowly taking over. And I think in 16, they did have the best package. this year, I think, as I said, is a match, and is also credit to, as I said, probably more credit to us that we can go that pace so far. We'll see how it pans out in the later part in the season, but as you said, it will be crucial to keep the development rate up.
So he might be putting a smile on it. In fact, what else can you do? But a trying weekend ahead for Fernando Alonso and Stoffel van Dorn. And you never know what he was saying to Craig. He might not be in a position, if they do go with Mercedes next year at McLaren, to win a championship, but it's got to be better than this. Thanks very much for watching. See you throughout the weekend. Bye-bye.
Enjoy Sky Sports F1 Live on all screens, on the go, and the best bits on demand.